What is going on, everybody? It's Mace Valley here on Unfiltered, here with my continued story about how I almost got kicked out of Retail Ready Community Career Center. Fuck. So, part 4.5, continuation. I'll wrap this up. So the ginger fuck is basically like, threatening me that I have to leave, and I'm like, no, just talk to the witnesses, you'll be fine. So they leave, come back. Excuse me. So Doug's really cool about it. He's like breaking it down like, hey man, we're gonna have to put you on probation because you were involved in an instance and it's against our policy for foul language. You used foul language, so because of that, and as you're an instigator to this, we're gonna have to, and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, you're right. You know what? I'll take what's owed to me. Makes perfect sense. No hard feelings. And he's like, well, we have to kick him out. And I'm thinking. And the ginger guy was like, yeah, because of you, some other kid's getting kicked out. And it's like, wait a minute. The ginger dude is like literally saying it's all my fault that this kid's getting kicked out. So they're giving sympathy to this guy for doing what he did. And then he's pissed off at me. So instantly I'm like, this fucking guy doesn't like me at all, man. It's like, all right, fine, fuck it, whatever. So anyway, I'm thinking, okay, you know what, whatever. And then I'm talking to Doug once the ginger fuck leaves because he's all pissed off. And I'm talking to Doug and I'm like, look, I'm going to be honest. I understand your guys' policy. I'm not going to lie. I really don't agree with it. It's, it's a fight between men. It was taken care of. It's not the end of the world. No one ultimately got hurt or anything, blah, blah, blah. Right? Now, I will say this, though. During this entire time frame, because I was bleeding a little bit from the lip, I think Doug asked me one time if it's like, hey, you need to get that looked at. And I was like, no, it's just a little cut. I should be okay. That was before I noticed the other parts, like the swollen parts of my head. But at no point had the administration come forward and be like, hey, you're involved in something. Do you need some sort of medical attention or medical assistance? Like, honestly, no, I fucking didn't. But the fact that no one, really took that serious and like, hey, to cover our ass, we need to make sure that you're good. Are you 100% positive you're involved in an incident? All right. And the lawyer should have been like, oh, fuck, yeah, on our grounds he was involved in something. All right, yeah, we should make sure he at least signs a piece of paper saying, hey, if you're declining any kind of medical aid because you're involved in something, whatever, right? I mean, you would think that they have a lot of chemicals there and stuff. They got fucking high voltage and shit. It makes sense that, you would they don't have any medical facility there. They don't have any nurses or anything like that, which honestly they fucking should. They need to have some, I had emailed them about this I messaged them on this about Facebook, and their stance was, oh yeah, we just call an ambulance. It's probably about 10 minutes down the road. And I'm thinking, I mean, that's, I guess, a solution, but as a school, you should really have some sort of medical center there or something like that, right? But it's Texas, different territory, so fuck it, whatever, right? So this dude, when I go in to sign the paperwork saying, hey, yeah, I'm on probation because I was involved in this, whatever. And the whole time I'm there, the guy's like, you're on probation. You get out of line one time, I swear to God, you will be out in a heartbeat. I will make sure that you leave the same day. I don't care what time it is. You will be gone. And this dude's like drilling into me. And it's like, who hurt you, man? Why are you like this? I mean, like I said, he's probably just doing his job, but the fact that he's so overly zealous about instilling in me that I'm a piece of shit and he doesn't want me, maybe I'm just looking too far, but I don't like the guy's presentation about how he presents himself to people, but, probably just doing his job. I'm not going to chalk it up too much. And the guy had to leave. And I was kind of beat up about it for a while. And I'm the kind of guy where I can compartmentalize things. I can look at things from multiple sides, take a look at the core scenario and break it down to its smaller pieces to get the biggest picture possible and include myself in that. And that's why, in this discussion, I was like, hey, this is where I was in the wrong, right? Now, there were some people that were vocal about the fact that I was still there. And because when Bob came and talked to us about it, he was upset, and it's like, we already kicked someone out for sexual harassment. Now I'm back in here again, and there's a fucking fight. And the consensus is that I didn't throw, from the school's perspective, legally speaking, because I didn't throw a punch back. And that's the thing, even if you defend yourself, the school's policy is you get kicked out, right? So the thing is because I instigated, a lot of the students were like, well, why the fuck is he still here? Huh? Like, he instigated it, he should be gone too. The fight would never, and that's the whole thing. That's why I felt villainized, you know, and to take from it what you want. I mean, the way I see it, it's like I get ungodly lucky in a lot of times in my life, and I would say that given the circumstances, should I have been kicked out for it? I mean, based upon how you view the circumstance, yes. No. I mean, obviously, from my perspective, I'm going to be like, well, fuck no, I'm going to defend myself to the bitter end because I don't want to get kicked out of here. I need this, right? But objectively looking at it, breaking it down into its parts and exactly everything that happened, no, I shouldn't have gotten kicked out because of how everything transpired. Now, was I in the wrong for certain things? Oh, fuck yeah, I shouldn't have cursed. I shouldn't have antagonized him. No, God, no, right? But the fact that remains is that people were upset that he got kicked out and I didn't. I didn't throw a punch. So based upon the school's policy and everything, that's just how it was broken down. And anyone that watches this that remembers that incident, they're all going to be butthurt and pissed off. And I digress. So, but yeah, I did feel responsible because this is a place where people go to actually better their lives, right? A good chunk of people are going there because it's a career that they want to get into. A greater chunk, I would say, people that are like me. They're looking at their life and they're like, I need to do fucking something. There's an opportunity, I'm taking it. And I think it's safe to assume that this guy that I was in this altercation with, Jeff, that he was in a very similar situation where this is something that he needed to get his life to a better caliber. And that's why I ultimately felt really bad after everything was said and done. Like, I felt like shit, like I should have handled things on my end better. But then after a while, when I thought about it, I can acknowledge the fact that I had a part to play in it. I can acknowledge my responsibility as far as things are concerned. But at the end of the day, I'm not responsible for the actions of another human being. So did he choose to do what he did? Yeah. I can only be held accountable for what I did on my end and how I react to situations, right? I can acknowledge what I've done, but I shouldn't be held responsible for what ultimately happens in someone else's life. So, I mean, even thinking about it, it's like I'm still kind of on the fence about it because I for the most part, try to be pretty cool and pretty mellow and chill about shit like this. But as being as realistically as possible, it's like, I'm sorry that I had my involvement in what happened, but you chose to do what you did, and you had to face the consequences. Now, on the controversy of should I myself have had to face some kind of punishment, well, according to the school, I did. I was on probation while I was there. Had I gotten in any more other altercations, that would have been it for me. So for a good while, I tried not, probably about a good week, I would say, I tried not to interact with people. I stayed in a lot outside of the school. Like, I really didn't want to get too involved in anything, just because of the fact that I didn't want to ruin what I had going on. And we had found out before I even left that my girlfriend was pregnant. So even more reason for me to go after something and not fuck it up. So, I mean, I could spin this in my head, but like I said, it ultimately comes down to I can be responsible for what happened on my end, but for someone else's actions, that's on them. I can't lose sleep over it. I can't fucking feel bad about it. I can feel bad about the shit that I did, but ultimately what happened, at the end of the day, it takes two to tango. I just gotta watch my own feet, And the guy, I never knew him. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't even really remember what he looks like. This was not someone that I had any involvement with. I even told Doug that, honestly, there's never been any issues with us before. This is the first time we've ever even spoken to each other, which makes it so much more weird, And I guess a lot of the guys that are around, the kind of work with your hands type, a lot of them are real alpha male types. Alpha male in the sense where they have to prove something to the world, or themselves or something. So if there is any kind of disruption or something that they have to present themselves in such a way to be on top, to be dominant. And I guess that's cool and stuff. I mean, I'm an alpha male in my own way. I mean, I take charge of stuff in my life in a very different fashion, but because I don't feel like I need to present certain shit to the world. Now, I'm not saying that's how shit is. I'm just saying that this is a possible perspective that, that in an industry where people work with their hands, it's very, well, I don't want to use the term leader. Fuck, I'm just spinning in circles on this. It's a realm where you got to be on top. You and that's something that I'm learning. You gotta not just know the game that you're in, but you have to be presently involved in a way to where your confidence is very apparent, right? And that filters into people's personalities and back and forth. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense how a lot of that went down and why my analytical way of looking at all of it is so different from everyone else's in that situation. Oh, fuck me, man. But didn't get kicked out, so interesting how it was handled, though. So next we'll go into part 5, which is going to touch on, let's talk about labs. Mace Fowler signing off.